spooky pokey music for spooky pokey game. Just play the spooky game. I don't think I pressed the button properly. There we are. You are a 32-year-old sewer worker. In your city there are many sewer sectors, but the oldest one is Sector 23. It hasn't been serviced for years, and your task is to check if everything is in order. Many people say that someone or something resides there, but no one really believes it. Golly, I find it curious that they built Sector 23 before they built all the other ones. But what do I know? Right, this is a door. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a game called Sector 23, where, as the little write-up suggests, it's in a sewer. Isn't that lovely? I don't know if there's an interact button. Right, I can open doors by clicking on them. Interesting. Alright. I am curious to see what mischievous, maiming, murderous monster we find in here. I do like that we keep lots of explosives in here so that we can rupture all the methane that is undoubtedly in here. Emergency exit. I don't need it now. Ah, right, I'll wait for there to be an emergency. Like a methane explosion or a monster. That's a ruddy dark corridor. Yes. Sewers. Such a classic environment for horror games. What is this? This is some sort of valve with a little shiny ruby on it. How exciting. Closing valve. Ah. Am I supposed to be doing that or not? I don't know, but it's taken quite some time. Okay, it's gone from red to green. So that is marvellous. It's always a good sign if it goes from red to green, unless it's your blood, in which case you've probably been transformed into a Vulcan. But we shan't worry about that. No, I was enthused to play this because of its sewer-related setting, and not because I have some sort of strange desire to go wandering around in places of stinkiness, but because the earliest memory I have of being genuinely frightened by a game, and the only memory I have of being so frightened by a game that I actually had nightmares, and I mean nightmares for years, not just directly after playing the game. There's some sort of little secret passageway being hidden here, I don't know. Is playing the section of Batman Arkham Asylum where you go down into the sewers to find Killer Croc. Or more specifically to find the plant. This is locked as well. This isn't good. Yes, something about that environment, the truly amazing voice acting they did for Croc in that game is it's always stuck with me, and every time I play it to this day, it still sends a certain shiver down my spine. So I always like to play a nice spooky game. What? I don't need to go here now. Maybe later. Oh. Right. Well, I'm glad that the game isn't allowing me to waste lots of time. So, you'd think you'd have mentioned that when we went through this door, rather than walked all the way down there. But maybe this chap hasn't got all of his steps in yet, and he needs to work a little bit more exercise into his daily routine. I know I certainly wouldn't die of such an introduction into my life. Let's turn some more of these. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you normally close things by turning them right, like a tab? You know, right is tight and left is loose, as the old saying goes. So I'm a tad befuddled why we're turning them the wrong direction, but maybe it's different in other places. I don't know. I don't claim to be a sewerologist. Right, there is some mess here. Marvellous. I think this box is open actually, and that is the lid, but I see nothing inside. Somebody has already been through and pilfered all of the goodies. I don't like this. I don't like this one little bit. Going to see if I can... Oh, there we are. I can keep half an eye to make sure that no monsters attempt to sneak up on me. Good. And let's see if any monsters have sneaked up on me from the other direction. No. Very good. Marvellous, in fact. Can I crouch or anything? Or control and C on doing anything, so I shall take that as a no. I believe this to be quite a short game, and the page described it as the developer's first finished game. So, thus far, it's quite good. It's quite grungy and dirty, and the lighting and the subtle sound design are all very nice. Shall we see if we can go through the this door now? Can I sprint? Yes, I can. I can boing along on my little trotters. Marvellous. Indeed, it is time. I've undone all the valves, and now we can go through here. Tremendous. Goodness. This actually reminds me, these little bits of I was going to say water, but I think that would be a generous description at best. Remind me of sections in Project Crypt, which was a good game. I had good scary bits in sewers. I have an awful feeling that I've encountered some sort of infinitesimal corridor. Oh no, I must get my shoes wet. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'll never get the smell out of my socks now. Never mind. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Oh golly, more valves. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Every time I see one of these little red lights peering out from the darkness, I can't help but think it's the eye of some sort of villainous droid that is peeking at me. Dear, dear, dear. It's so fascinating how the human experience can be altered by a preconception of what the human mind expects to see. In that, if you didn't know this was a horror game, that seems like quite a reasonable decision. You what? How did it get here? I must find another way out. Oh, interesting. Ah, I appear to have been bapped across the chin by something. That's most unfortunate. Oh dear. Oh no, I have to go right back to the beginning. Oh no. Oh no. Oh come on, couldn't we do like a little save when we get through this door or something? Come on. I don't want to go through all that again, all the wandering around. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Never mind. Never mind. It has to be done, so we might as well get on with it. Now I might as well shut up. Gives me an opportunity to finish my stupid thought about how experiences are to some degree moulded by your preconception, in that if you started playing this game and you had no reason to think it was scary, you probably wouldn't find this a very scary experience. But because I expect to find something scary, I suppose that puts me on edge to a certain degree, and I perceive things in a more spookalicious manner than I might otherwise do. Right! I shall sort some more valves out, I shall go through the door again, and I shall see if I can not get backed by the mutton man. Ah, this must be the other emergency exit I was looking for. Right. Now that I know roughly what I'm looking for, assuming that this wasn't the pathway which got blocked off by whatever it was that blocked it off, then perhaps that's the direction I need to go in order to escape. Right. It strikes me we could go a different way, couldn't we? Sorry, I thought I saw a shadow in the darkness there, but I don't think that I did. Yes, instead, let's go this way. I'm sure it's not going to make that much difference. The monster is just going to arrive from the one direction that I wasn't allowed to go due to those barriers. Oh golly, there's nothing here at all except a load of disappointment and small barriers. Right, I see. So I just got immensely lucky the first time around that I didn't meander down here and waste an enormous amount of time. If only I could be so lucky the second time around. But no, it wasn't lovelier the second time around. Don't even have anything stupid to don't have anything stupid to yammer on about while we go all the way down here. I did find, I can't remember if we did find before, even though it was less than 10 minutes ago, any locked doors. I found 1 or 2 locked doors while I was wandering around again, so I can't remember if we found those before. I remember 1 or 2 doors saying that I don't need them now, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to go through those locked doors at some point, or if they're just there so that there is a door and it's not just a dead-end corridor. But really you're not going to go through it, because it's clearly making a distinction to the doors that I am supposed to come back and use later, so it's clearly being quite distinct about those. Right, this time I'm going to run away! So if I turn right here, and then I turn left, I should make my way back to the emergency exit! Oh golly, it's very dark out here, and I didn't bring my torch! Oh golly! Huzzah! We escaped and everything. Very good music indeed. Right, that was good. That was little and cute, but that was very nice actually. I rather enjoyed that. I wouldn't mind, as much as he was a bit of an ugly bugly fellow, I wouldn't mind having a slightly better look at the enemy. So, I'm going to go back through the game again, and this time I'm going to... Strange, the mouse didn't click into the game for some bizarre reason. So assuming there aren't any little secrets or anything, there is no reason to, or no ability even to go through the locked doors. Was this one of the locked doors? Yes, indeed, but it's got scary little skull and crossbones in there. I'm sure that's where they're having all the pirate parties. I want to go to a pirate party. No. Yeah, I just want to see what it looks like when the monster runs towards you. I'm slightly curious as well to see if the monster can be slowed down by shutting doors. So I might run away far enough just to shut a door or two in his face, and then he can scold me for my appalling manners. No, and then he can open the doors, and I can see if there's see if that's a thing he can do, or if he will be defeated by a door. Somehow I doubt it, but you know, it's worth trying. As I stare into the jaws of death, I find myself thinking, I really should have tested to see if I can actually shut doors before I try out my theory of shutting doors. Oh, I can shut doors, marvellous. Does he open doors then? It would appear he can be defeated by a door. That's interesting. I must say I didn't expect that to work. But here we are. He looks like a very frantic cat making biscuits on a nice surface. My goodness, he's a grumpy old sauce, isn't he? Right. Interesting. Well, I can't go over there and open the door, but, goodness. Goodness. How did it get here? I don't ruddy know, man. Should we just out of curiosity, should we just see if there's any... There aren't like any emergency exits this way, are there? I imagine this is just a... Oh look, you went the wrong way. You're a big silly Billy, and now you're going to get backed by a man who looks like he's made out of one of those fat bergs they dragged out of a sewer some years back. And I imagine still are to this day, probably, which is a little worrying. Right! I think that last time he got me on a corner, so we didn't get a proper look at the death animation. So I wish to have a proper look at the death animation. Hello, friend! Prepare for a smooch! Yes, indeed. He gives you a right proper smack across the chops as punishment for daring to invade him in his most private of places. That's really good, actually. I really like this game. As a little first game, it is a very fun little experience. As I said, the sound design is very nice, the lighting is lovely, and the design of the enemy is a little bit unusual. It's not just, oh look, here is a stock model we got out of the Unity store, and it's exactly the same as the enemy and all the others. Something a little bit interesting, some sort of bizarre blob monster. Excellent, I approve. As a citizen of the nation that bore Mr. Blobby, I approve of blob monsters. They are an excellent way to traumatise people quite thoroughly. So I like it. I like it. It's nice, it's atmospheric, it's cute, and it has little things like this which sort of build up the ambience to a certain extent to make you feel like you're potentially being watched by something as it observes you moving through its home and pilfering through its things. So I'm going to sit here in this corner and cry for a few hours, and that was very good. I very much enjoyed that. I hope you did as well, so thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen, for Sector 23. Look after each other, and good night.